Hi students, welcome to our physics class. Today we are going to start new chapter. And chapter name is Motion and Time. It is the 13th chapter and the page number is 143. So this is actually the continuation of the chapter you studied in your 6th standard. And in that chapter you studied about different types of motion. So this is what we are continuing this chapter. And we are going to first of all refresh the memories. Now I am asking you, what is motion? How we can define the term motion? For example, this chalk. This is, first of all, it is just no motion. And now you can see that it is having motion. You know what is motion. But how we can define this term? It is very simple. First of all, we are going to do how to define this term motion. When an object change its position, when an object change its position in time, then we can say it is in motion. That means I am having change in my position with time, then I can say I am in motion. That means I already said that when this chalk is having position change with time, then we can say this chalk is under motion. So this is how we can define the term motion. That is, the object change its position in time, or the change in position with time is what? Motion. And first of all, this object is having no motion. And what we call it as? We call it as rest. R-E-S-T, rest. So, when the object is having no position change, in time, then we can say it is at rest. So, that is the state of one object. State of one object is of two types. One is of motion and other is of rest. That means when the object is having position change with time, then it is at rest. It is at motion. And if there is having no position change, then it is called rest. Now I am going to show you one interesting fact. For that I am just giving you one question. One person, he is standing at the surface of earth. And here is our sun. This person is having no position change actually. And now my question is, do the person is having state of rest or state of motion? What is the answer? I said that this person is not moving. So you will say that it is at rest. But there is a problem that our earth is continuously rotating and revolving. So I can say, by considering the earth, this person is having no position change. So by considering earth, this person is at rest. And another thing is that when we are considering the sun, this earth is rotating and revolving around this sun. So according to the sun, the position of earth is changing and also this person is on the earth, and we can say the position of this person is continuously changing. So that means we cannot feel it because our earth is having very much bigger size and it is moving in certain velocity, and that's why we are not feeling the motion of our earth. So with considering sun, this person is in motion because this earth is moving around the sun. So at the same time this person is at rest and also this person is at motion. So we can say the concept of motion is actually relative. Relative. You just put it in your mind. You will study this concept in detail in your 9th standard. So we are moving to the types of motion. In this area, I just explained what is motion. When an object is having the position change with time, we can say it is in motion. And also explain that what is rest. Rest means the object is having no position change. So this is all we explained here. Now we are moving to the types of motion. Which are the types of motion you studied in the 6th standard? I am simply drawing here. Now, you can see here one car. In the first sample, this car is moving in a straight line. Case A. In the case B, this motion of car is starting from this point and it is moving like this, moving like this, moving like this and finishing at here. So that is the case number 2B, and in the case number 3, you just observe here, it is moving front, back, front, back, front, back. This is the case number 3, that is C. How we can give the names for this case A, B and C? The first one is nothing but the straight line motion. Straight line motion. That means the object is just moved in a straight line here. That means when the object is moving in a straight line, we can call it as straight line motion. The next example, you observe that the car is moving in a circular track or circular path, and we can call it as circular motion. Circular motion. And here the car was moving forward, backward, forward, backward. That means here it is a repeated motion. It is repeating with time and we call it as periodic motion. Periodic motion. So, these are the 3 types you studied in the last year. The first one is straight line motion, second one is circular motion, and the third one is repeated motion. What it is? Periodic motion. Now, I am giving you one task that in your textbook, it is on page number 143. You just take it and fill that table. The table you can see here, page number 143. There are some of the examples and you want to fill this. Using pencil, you can do it in your textbook itself. Please pause the video and complete the table. I hope you completed that. Now we are going to discuss the answers for that. In the first case, what is the question? It is about soldiers in march path. What is the motion of the soldiers? Do they are moving like this? No, they are moving in straight line. So it is a straight line motion. In the 2, what is the question? Bullock cart on straight road. The answer is in the question itself. Bullock cart on the straight road. So what it is? It is the same straight line motion for the 2 also. Now the 3. It is hands of an athlete in race. That means when a person is racing What is the motion of his hand? It is going forward, backward, forward, backward. So it is what? Periodic motion. Periodic motion. Now the fourth question, pedal of a bicycle. Pedal means it is continuously rotating. So we can say it is rotational motion. Now the fifth one, it is motion of earth around sun. How it is? Sun is here and the earth is moving like this. So this is also what? Rotational motion, or also we can say it as circular motion. Both are same. Circular motion. The next one is sixth, and it is motion of swing. Swing means it is moving like this. That is forward, backward, forward, backward. It is continuously moving like this. And so it is repeating, and we can say it as a periodic motion. It is a type of periodic motion. And the seventh one is what? Motion of pendulum. How the motion of pendulum? It is also, you can see like this. It is in a motion of, we call it as to and fro motion, and we will study it later. Now just think that it is moving forward and backward. So it is also what? Periodic motion. So this is the answers for this, and check your answers. If having any wrong answers, please correct it. And here I wrote rotational motion. You can also write it as circular motion. Both are same. Circular motion. This is all about this area. Now we are moving to the next topic. That is about slow or fast. Slow or fast. That is the next topic. Already we studied about some of the objects having in motion. And now we are considering here two objects. This is object A and this is object B. And they are moving to that direction. Just consider these are the two, A and B, and that means they are just moving. This A is what? It is something more fast. You can see that when they are moving, it is just more fast. But this B is very slow. So I can say this is fast and this is slow. This you can say because both of them are moving in same direction. But now it's having a problem when one is moving to that direction and one is moving to this direction. How you can identify that who is having more speed and who is slow? How you can identify? That is a problem. And you can find it, but it is little more difficult to find which is faster or which is slower. But when they are moving in the same direction and when they are starting from the same point, then it is something more easy to find which is fast or which is slow. Now we are going to study how we are finding which is slow or which is fast, or having any name for this, or how we can find that which is more faster, like the things we are going to discuss in this area. For that, again, I am considering one example, that two objects. Two objects again, A and B. This is A and this is B. This A is moving to that direction and finally it stops here. And this B is moving to this direction and stops here. am going to do that. First of all, taking the distance that is travelled by A. I am going to take the distance. Now the question is, what is this distance? Distance is the path travelled by the object. Distance is the path travelled by the object. That means this object A travels. And the distance means the path travelled by the object is what? Distance. That is the first thing I am going to measure in both cases A and B. And also I am going to measure how much time this A take to reach this point. If I am taking this point as C and this point as D, now how much time this A just got to reach this point C, and then I will measure how much time this B will go to reach this point D. That's the thing I am going to do. So, I'll just make here a table. Table A and table B. A means details about A and B means details about B. First of all, I am going to find the distance. This is only some assumptions and my aim is to find who is more faster. That is the aim I am doing here. So, the distance is travelled by this A is about 10 meter. And for the B, I am taking it as 20 meter. Some sort of length. I am just taking that. And after, I am taking the time for both of them travel. This A took the time of 5 seconds. And the B took the time of, say, 5 seconds. So, now in my hand I have distance travelled by the object and the time taken by that object. Now, we want to do the simple thing. I am going to divide this distance by time. That means, distance divided by time. In this case, 10 by 5. And in the case 20 by 5. So, in the A you get the answer as 2. And in this case you get the answer as 4. Which is having the higher value. You can see the higher value in the case of B. And that's how you can say that this B is more faster than A. B is more faster than A. So this is one simple example. When you observe this, you may understand that the distance and the time are important to measure the is it fast or slow. And also how I can say this. Here I already said that B is more faster. Or I can say that B is having more speed than A. B is having more speed. Actually, you have to study the term speed here. Now, we are going to define what is the term speed. You are already familiar with the term speed. And now we are going to how to define this term speed. Now, I am rewriting the term speed fast or slow to speed. Another example we are considering one running race, and here the distance is of 100 meter. This is a 100 meter running race. Both of them are here at the starting point and this is the end point. And they just run and reach the final point. How we consider the winner? We will take who took less time. Who took less time to cross this line. That That's how we identify the winner. So here also the distance is here same, the 100 meter, and in this case we consider about the time. And in the last experiment or the last activity, we considered the same time and the distance was different. So when we are considering in all cases with relative to speed, we are taking the distance and time. So for the speed, it is very important with this distance and time, and now I am going to define this speed as it is the distance covered per unit time. It is the distance covered per unit time. So this is how we define speed. The distance covered by an object per unit time. Here we are all talking about one object. So the distance covered by an object per unit time is what? Speed. So we can write the equation as speed is equal to distance divided by time. So this is the simple equation for finding the speed. Speed is equal to distance covered by the object by time. Now the question is, we are familiar with the term while traveling in vehicle. We are saying that the vehicle or the car is traveling in 60 km per hour. Or we are saying that the vehicle is traveling in 100 km per hour. Now, what is the thing actually we are meaning? The meaning is that the vehicle is traveling 60 km in 1 hour. That is the meaning of this. Or 100 km in 1 hour. Now my question is very simple, that one car is moving from the point A to B. And we know in our roads it is having number of instabilities and all. Sometimes this car will move very faster, sometimes it is very slow, then again faster, slow, fast. Like it is having a instability there. We are not moving continuously with the same 60 km per hour. But still we are using we are not saying that now I am 60 km per hour, now I am 40 km per hour. Like never we are using such terms. Why like that? Actually we are using, sometimes I am moving 60, sometimes 40, sometimes 50, sometimes 80. So there is having difference in the speed, but actually we are considering the average. Average speed with concept of car or with concept of bus. So according to the vehicles, we are talking about the average speed actually, and not we are talking about a single time. So this is all about this. Now I think it's clear for you, the average speed. So we can say, I am rewriting the equation. This is the equation for speed, but again I am rewriting it as speed is equal to total distance traveled by total time. Total distance traveled by total time. Both are same, but you can see in your textbook this equation. And this is actually what? One average taking concept, but this is average speed, but we can also say it as simply speed. This is all about the measurement of speed. Now we are going to study about the different types of motion. In the 6th standard, you studied about different types of motion, but this is another concept relative to speed. Motion. With respect to speed, I am classifying this motion into two. The first one is uniform motion, and the second one is non-uniform motion. I already said said that we are classifying this on the basis we are considering about the speed. Now the question is how we can define this uniform motion. It is very simple. This uniform motion is when an object is having constant speed in its motion. We can say it as uniform motion. When an object is having constant speed throughout its motion, we can call it as uniform motion. So, non-uniform motion means when an object is having non-uniform speed, or simply we can say it as when the speed is continuously changing. In its motion, we call it as non-uniform motion. So, this is the two types of motion we are classifying on the basis of the speed. It is uniform motion and non-uniform motion. When the object is moving in constant speed throughout its motion, so it is called what? Uniform motion. And when the speed is changing continuously, or when the speed is changing in its motion, we call it as non-uniform motion. So you want to study the definition of this uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Next topic is measurement of time. We will discuss it in our next class. It is a big topic, and in this class we discussed about motion. First of all, I defined about motion. What is motion? Motion is when an object is having position change with time, we call it as the object is at motion. And when the object is having no position change with time, we call it as object is at rest. First we explained these things, and after that we explained about different types of motion. That means the periodic motion, straight line motion, circular motion, like different types of motion we already explained and also studied the examples. In the table you can see different examples for this, and you want to study the examples for this type of circular motion, straight line motion, periodic motion. All this you want to study the examples. After that, we studied about speed, the definition of speed, and also studied the equation for this. That equation is very important, and in our coming classes we will do mathematical problems using this equation. What is the equation? Speed is equal to distance by time. This is one of the important equations we discussed in today's class. And in our coming classes, we will discuss about time, how to measure the time, and after that we will study how to draw graphs. These all we will discuss in our coming classes, and you want to read your textbook 3-4 times. We will meet in next class.